Hey all, it's Matt with Bobcat Bonsai. So today I'm going to go over how I finish my cement planters that I like to make. Well, more or less how I seal them. Um, so stick around if this is something you're interested in and check it out. Alright, so to start off here, you'll recognize that this looks just like the mold that I use for the succulent planter, and it is. Um, The mold that I use for the succulent planter is right here. As you can see, there is a bit of a size difference between the two of them. What I ended up doing, as you can probably notice looking at it from the side here, how it's bulged out a little bit. I poured the mold originally. I then poured more into the mold, flipped, and stacked it in there. So that was how I got the height difference between the two of these, just to give me a little bit more room for my mold. As you can see here, I drill a drainage hole in the bottom of them, and well, that's more or less because I'm using it as a planter for outside, so I need to have the drainage. Alright, so I'm going to try something a little bit different for now. I'm going to use a red chestnut penetrating stain to try to get almost like a woodish grain color in here. And then once this dries, I'll come back later and I'll seal it off with a lacquer coating. I need to get a new paintbrush because this one stiffened up a little bit. I must not have got it cleaned off as well as I thought I did. So basically all I'm going to do is just go all the way around all the edges, and then I'm not worried about getting it like super soaked in there because I want it to kind of have a little bit rougher of a look to it anyway. But this is more or less just so that I can get more of like a wood grainish finish. Well, not wood grainish, but more of like a natural color than just the cement, which I guess is also a natural color. But that's just to give you an idea of what I'm trying to accomplish here by going with this. This is a newer style for me to go with. Normally, I just seal the plain cement and I just leave it like that. Once I finish this up, I'll show you some of the other pots that I have already made that I just sealed and just left them as a plain cement. Sorry if this seems a little redundant, just watching me go around in a circle, but I figure it gives us a chance to talk and just check out what we're doing here. This is some of the stuff I enjoy doing. I can't just sit there and trim plants all day because, well, the plants wouldn't be very happy with me if I just continually trim them over and over again when they're not ready to be pinched back or anything. Alright. Just cover the top a little bit. I'm not so much worried about the inside because, well, that's going to have soil in there. And then, depending on what I decide to put on the top, whether I put gravel or moss or something, it'll all end up just disappearing anyway. So let me grab some of these other planters that I've already finished. That way I can give you a look at them. Let me get this little guy out of the way. Alright. So this big guy right here, super rough looking, but this one's finished with just a lacquer on it. My thoughts for this is once I grow one of my seedlings big enough, I want to put it in here as, well, pretty much make this into its little bonsai pot, something to chill out in. Something I don't have to worry about blowing over in the wind because it's heavy. Um, so it's got its main drainage hole. There's two other holes that can be used for drainage. Also, I can use it to put wire through to wire the tree down, which works out great as well. Um, this was my first attempt at making a bonsai pot out of cement. It is it's got some little legs on it. It just has one drainage hole in it. This one's also sealed with just a lacquer finish. As you see, it kind of slopes, and it doesn't have a perfect look, but I still like the way that it looks. So another thing I like to do in my pastime is I make air dry clay pots because I don't have a kiln, and I know a lot of people don't have one. So it's nice just to be able to make something, let it dry through the air, and then get it all sealed off. So I'll show you a couple of them, and if it's something that you'd be interested in learning how I do it, let me know in the comments and I can show you how. If not, that's okay as well. I actually do need to finish two of these yet on the bottom, so let me know if you want to know how I put the little feet on the bottom of the clay pots. So here is one of them. This one's got, so I made this one. It's pretty flat. It's definitely not for a giant tree, maybe more for like, I'm not sure, just something little. I gave it a little bit of movement into the bowl so it kind of like waterfalls through the edge. And I think that gives it just a cool extra look. I might be able to do something later with that. Either run a tree up and cascade out, run some moss down almost like a waterfall, something like that. So this is a little cascade pot I made out of air dry clay as well. This one's got the drainage hole drilled in it also. And then these are painted, both these are painted and then sealed with lacquer. So that's that one. And then my last little guy is this little one right here. Again, it's not perfectly level, but I think the imperfection kind of gives them their own unique look. So this one, it's air dried, and then I went strongly against a recommendation of air dry, and I put it in a toaster oven after I powder coated it. So this one turned out pretty good. I just had to run it a lot longer in there, and it worked out pretty good. As you can see, the powder coat didn't really stick to it all the way, and that's all right because I finished this one with lacquer as well. But let me go grab you the example of why you don't put air dry clay in a toaster oven. Okay, so here's my example of why you don't put air dry clay in a toaster oven. It blew apart while it was in there, which I thought was maybe from air gaps, but some of this stuff is actually pretty smooth. I mean, over here, yeah, that definitely should have blown apart because there was an air gap in there. This pot I was actually super looking forward to. As you can see, I took the time to hand paint everything, give it like a super cool texture to look just the way I wanted. I even had shaped like these nice little feet on the bottom of it. I was super proud of this pot, and then I put it in a toaster oven and it blew apart. Looking at it, I probably just had it too thin and that's what happened. Or I didn't let it air dry long enough and there was moisture trapped inside that one, and that's why it blew apart. Alright, so let me get this stuff all out of the way real quick. Let's get this guy back in the middle again. So, you should wait for your stain to dry all the way before you clear coat it. And what I'm going to end up using is a clear semi-gloss. Honestly, your best bet would be to use a full gloss because it's less porous. It would give a better finish on it. But I'm going to use semi-gloss and pretty much just go back around this whole thing and just get a little bit of a coating on here. By a little bit, I mean I absolutely drench these things. As you can see, it goes on, and I put it on like really, really thick. And part of my hope is that maybe the clear coat is gonna wash down the brown a little bit, take it down just a little. I feel like that was a little bit more overwhelming of a color than what I was expecting. All right, so then we're gonna do the outside edges. And now we want to get down and on the inside of it and get a good coating inside there. And trust me, it's going to run right down through the middle and it will end up getting stuck to this table. So let me get this all coated up and I will get back with you to show you what it looks like. All right, so I got the inside all coated up, as you can see, and that's about it for it. If you would like to learn the process of how I go about making these cement planters, from basically pouring the cement into the mold, getting it out, putting it and hardening the cement, then going through drilling the holes, how I decide how I'm going to drill the holes, what type of bit I use for it, and then we can even go back through the sealing process as well. Just leave a comment down below if that's something you're interested in. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell notification. Thank you and have a great day.